Hey guys, welcome to the Crypto Lab with Alex, featured by Trading Analysis. We are going to go a little bit over the macro themes, and then we will switch on the chart for the Bitcoin. And let's start. We have lots of events, including the possible debt default, and I know that there is this theme all around the media, but believe me, I've been looking at for the last 15 years. That has been a couple of times that the debt ceiling was needed to be lifted on the upside, and most likely it happened in the last week or last 2 weeks. So I don't think there is going to be the problem of the default in the of the USA on their debt payments and government payments and everything like that. So I think they will fix it in the last week or two. So just to move that subject over the table, as it has been in media like a kind of a scare, but I've been watching that for the last 20 years. Let's look what's going on the Fed rates. We track this CME Fed tool, and for the 14th of July, we have 60% that Fed is going to pause, which actually Jerome Powell potentially announced. Of course, that is going to be data driven. Last CPI was at 4.95%, so basically kind of stabilizing at that plateau. Fed is already at 5.25. We have seen a couple of regional banks already collapsed because of their unhedged position on treasuries. And also this is a very kind of a high interest rate for servicing the US debt. So I think they are waiting the moment to actually pause and start reducing rate on the downside, which markets actually starts now to price in potentially to start in July, but in September, as you can see now, this is climbing around 26%, 49%. We're going to stay at current level, 26%. We're going to go down 25 basis points, and in November we already have 44.9% that we're going to go down for 25 basis points. So of course that will be data dependent. So for the next 14th of June, where is the next Fed meeting, currently we are at 55.1 chance that we are going to stay and at the same levels, and that we are going to pause, which is a kind of a signaling to markets that Fed is very close to actually to start reverse this course on the downside if the data stays in a normal boundaries. While we are there, let's look what's going on the dollar index. We have been tracking this on a Crypto Lab for a long time. If you are watching Crypto Lab for the last year, we have been looking this as a wave 5. So currently we have either a 5 waves down, or this was a wave 5. We are working some type of a weird flat on the upside. This doesn't look so appealing to me. Looks more like something like complex 3 waves and then a 5 waves up. But in general, overall, we do think that this is some type of impulsive move to the downside. And when probably Fed starts to reverse in a month or two, or in a month or three, then the dollar might continue to the downside, because we have an impulsive feature, which means that after a 5 waves down, we're going to have a correction and another 5 waves down. So in that respect, some of the Fib ratios we can look to currently potentially foresee where this correction on the upside might go. So 50%, 0.61%, and the last resort ratio is 786. Which is not here. I don't know why. Anyhow, it's a little bit above 786. So we might see some retracements down up to 50%, which is 107, 108, or a little bit higher from where we do expect dollar to turn, simply because of the interest rate differential. Other central banks and inflation are higher than in United States. We have a Europe around 7%. European rates are at 3.75 currently, and we have also Great Britain at almost inflation at 10%, and they're at 5.25 or 5.50. So it will be some type of interest rate differential squeezing, because Fed is going to pause, maybe reverse lower, and then the others are still going to wait for a couple of months inflation to start to roll over or decline, and then they're going to follow, which might actually turn dollar higher. So we will see. So that's a long down the way. So for now, we are looking this as a potential development of a correction and then continuation to the downside, which will be good for the risky assets classes on the upside. If we dive into total crypto market cap, so we are looking this chart with our members for a long time. 5 waves up, we have 3 waves down in W. We look for some correction here in X wave, and then a continuation down towards 947 billion, and then potentially further move on the upside, which will coincide potentially with the Fed be firmer on a pausing stance or moving rates lower, which will add liquidity to the system and provide conditions for the continuation of this trend of the cryptos on the upside, and also stock market as well. So as we follow the stock markets very closely for our premier members at Trading Analysis, we have been following a couple of wave counts on the indices. So for now, everything looks okay. It has been very difficult for us in this very bearish environment to stay bullish, but we managed it so far. So let me just go and review just quickly NASDAQ, which is correlated with crypto. So we still this upside momentum, which is now developing. We are still looking this in some type of a ideal failed fifth here in this correction, and then 1, 2 we are developing in a big wave 3, or this is just some type of a leading diagonal of an expanding variety, and then we're gonna see a small pullback soon, which will be our last sequence on the downside in Bitcoin and total crypto market cap, and then continuation on the upside. So this is that we also have some bearish wave counts, but for now, as you can see, they're very close on a verge. Probably today it's going to be invalidated, because we have this as a triangle. You cannot have a wave C going above wave A in some type of a triangulation for the continuation of the bear market. So most likely this will be invalidated today. So we are going to continue to watch for a little bit more higher levels, and then small corrections towards June, July, and then potentially continuation higher when Feds actually sets up to lower rates. So let me go and show you the larger picture that we have on a Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, for now, as we have this as a 5 waves up, this wave 4 was a little bit extended in a time duration. So if we measure the wave 2 and wave 4 for now, because we didn't have a wave count invalidation here, which according to the Elliott Wave rules will actually put this wave count out of the picture. So for now we still have it as a wave 4, as we did through whole of this year. Time ratio suggests we came and start to moving up just before 2618 Fib ratio between the time spent in a wave 2 and wave 4, which is okay. Anything above 2618 we will basically disregard as a correction, and then structure a different wave count. So for now, the time elapsed in a wave 2 and time elapsed in a wave 4, according to these ratios, are still within the borders that we can consider this to be a wave 4. So it is important a notion that to be mentioned here. We also have a 200 moving average on this is a weekly chart. As you can see, we are now retracing to it, so we are testing it. We made a small bounce here, so there is a 200 moving average there, and there is also a base channel, as you can see here, painted in a yellow. So we do think that most likely, if we get reversal and a small pullback in the stock markets, we might break these support levels and go a touch lower and basically test this daily 200 moving average, which is around 22 to 23 thousand. So for now, from the highs, we only see 3 waves down. Potentially, we are making some type of an X wave here, which is a kind of a connector between the two zigzags. And if we get a little bit of a pullback in the stock market during summer, this might actually turn to be some type of an ABC, kind of leveling around this projected 200 daily moving average, which is, as I said, between 22 and 24K. And then from there, we might open new doors for the continuation on the upside. Will this actually transform into a bullish wave count? I still don't know. I have it as a bullish here. This might be some type of a wave A down in B, up in C, towards here, and then we might collapse. But I'm still not looking that scenario. I'm going to stay bullish, looking our macro outlook and also looking our stock market wave counts. So for now, at this current moment, I'm looking for a continuation up in a wave 3. Of course, we're going to look for a partial confirmations, which means when we find some type of support here, we need to see a 5 waves up here on a smaller time frames. This will be the intermediary wave 2. So what I want to see from these levels or these levels is 5 waves up and a pullback, basically a test of this line, which will form also some type of an inverse head and shoulder. I don't look much for that, but it's nice to mention because various technical guys are looking at it. And then we might continue further upside in a wave 3, 4, and 5 towards this 1618, which is the usual place for the wave 3. We might get a pullback in wave 4 and wave 5 up to 100K or higher, depends which of these fib levels on the upside will react. So we are still far from that moment. Let me just note that first, of course, we want to see this to prove to be in a corrective manner. I don't want to see straight 5 waves down here, because that will be indicative that we are going to see a deeper correction or even change of a trend. So what I want to see here, to stay in a corrective mode, I want to see here 3 waves down, 3 waves up, 3 waves down. And that will actually give me a necessary information that I can identify this as a viable correction, a double zigzag. And in that case, I will be ready to look for a Bitcoin to continue higher in wave 1 and 2, and then continuation further on the upside. So larger time frame, so this is still a weekly, is still pointing, if we hold this level that I mentioned, around this level, so that 22 to 24 is pointing out that if this happens, we might continue further higher. And then after another correction, we might actually conclude this move on the upside. Halving is around March, if I'm not mistaken, of 2024. And this will be kind of a timely with the previous cycles when the halving period starts to react on the upside and actually go beyond the halving cycle. So maybe this will, halving date, so maybe this will last from March to May, July, June, and then we might see another drop to the downside. So this is too far in time. Let's go one wave by one wave every week to see what is developing. So I hope this was helpful to you guys as you watch Bitcoin, and we are still going to stick to our overall analysis, which points out that we have only 3 waves on the downside, looking the macro themes and also the stock market. Potentially we might see a deeper correction and then a move up and continuation higher. So this is our main base scenario currently. I'm not looking the bearish scenario currently. The bearish scenario, actually, I mentioned it, will look as a straight 5 waves down from here. So this will be 1, 2. And then you will see something like this. So if we see that by any chance, a small pullback here, you see a straight 5 waves down, okay, in a wave 3, that will be a concerning development, okay. So that will also potentially transform a Bitcoin price chart in A, up in B, down in C for testing a deeper correction. So this will be a bit smaller, or it will be actually a very warning sign that Bitcoin is going to continue lower, made a small pullback and then continuation towards 12.8 or lower levels. But for now, I don't expect this to happen. Okay. So let me see what you are writing here. So daily shuffle. Hello, Alex. Please, Ethereum Bitcoin chart. Schnitzel asks us, are we going live every second week? Yeah, guys, I do this lives randomly. I don't know which week I'm going to be in the mood to do them. I'm a little bit of kind of over ahead of providing these crypto labs because we didn't have any sizable response from the public. So from that general stance, I would rather update my members and clients with videos on the situation, kind of do videos from them than from the public. I will do them occasionally with no regular kind of terms. So I can do next week one or in 2 weeks. So either you subscribe and then you get a notification, or you just check the channel every week and see if it is there. So let me see. Lee asks, what do your charts say about the dollar? Top. Okay, so we look the dollar situation. Dollar definitely looks as a 5 waves down. I think we are currently in a pullback and that we're going to continue lower. So that will be my conclusion on dollar. Zeus chart on a Polkadot. Yeah, for that you will have to either take a trial or go to our membership area at Trading Analysis. So we do lots of charts there, including Polkadot. So Lehman, thank you, Alex. Oleg, hello, Oleg, how are you? Fantastically perfect scenario. David says stellar XLM, if you can, thanks. Okay, let me just do one chart and that will be it for today. So let's do Ethereum Bitcoin chart, which is very popular, I see, over the internet, on Twitter. So we track this with our members as a potential continuation on the upside. So from the lows, we have a wave 1 and 2, 5 waves up, sorry, in a wave 3. Let me just unclear that. We have a wave 4, potentially a wave 2. It is a bit long, so wave 4, 5 waves up in a 1 of the wave 5, pullback in a wave 2, and now we are holding this support, and I'm hoping that this will start to react on the upside and actually give us. So this definitely still, even if we kind of erase all of these labels, I still think that we are in some type of a sideways consolidation. Even if you just do a basic technicals and looking the RSI, so this is a kind of a support zone, a large consolidation, and also inverted, this commonly known as a inverted head and shoulder, as you can see. So we have a left, right shoulder and head. So usually projection is on the upside. Also, what gives a credibility to this consolidation is that we are trading a little bit above this 200 moving average on weekly. So this is a very strong kind of a support zone. And from there, I do think we're going to resolve higher, and that Ether, at least for some time in 2023, will be a stronger currency than Bitcoin for a couple of months. So this will not last. I think if we get this move, this will not last much for a couple of months. So a break of these levels of a 200 moving average, I will definitely dismiss this wave count as valid. So my wave count looks like this. I'm going to bring it back if the keyboard starts to listen to me. Yeah. So I have this as a 1, 2, up in 3, 4, and then I have a 1, and this is a bit unusually long second wave. It's possible. It's nothing wrong with that. It just means that the wave 4 will be sharp. But these are kind of a rarer cases. Usually wave 2s are sharp, as you can see here. in the developing sequence. So this wave 2 was very sharp. If you look also, primary degree wave 2 was also very sharp. As you can see here, just an ABC pullback. Complex wave 2s are very rare, but they are possible. They are within the possible limits. So this wave count is still valid. And the break of these levels on the upside at 0.080 will actually signals that we are starting the upside movement. So we might maybe test a couple of times. If you look daily, you will see that this 200 moving average test was failed a couple of times. So as you can see here, we are trading below it. We tested one time, we tested second time, and now we're just wiggling around it. So what I need to see here is definitely we hold this level. Wave count invalidation, according to the rules, of course, it's the beginning of the lows or beginning of the previous lows and a start of the 5-wave move on the upside. So this will be the wave count invalidation. Usually, when you test this level close, if you don't have a flat, it's going to break it. But now we are far from it, and I still do see a potential that this develops higher in a wave 3 and 4 and 5, which is not a big time window. As you can see, we are, if this sequence develop, we are at the end because we already have a 5-wave sequence if we look the higher time frame here. So we have a waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're moving in a wave 5. So this portion will be the last sequence where the Ether will have some upper hand over Bitcoin, and then we might see some type of a correction or a further move downside. So I don't know that for now, but according to the probabilities that we calculate and look in relation to our wave count, there is still a large probability that for this period of time, Ether will actually outperform Bitcoin for the couple of months in 2023, and then this thing might reverse as we go to halving and probably a couple of months afterwards. So let me see a couple of more comments. Ready Viper, do you think we will have flippening this cycle? I don't know what you mean by that. If you can clarify it, I don't know what you mean by flippening this cycle. So if you can explain the expression, I will be gladly telling you my opinion. Tim is 51, thanks for the update, no problem. So I'm gonna wait maybe 10-20 seconds if the Red Viper wants to clarify this word flippening. And if, of course, he doesn't explain it because I don't know what it means, we're gonna complete our update here and see you maybe next week, guys. Oh, you mean by market cap? This is not a chart of market cap. I don't think, I didn't look the market cap chart for a long time. Let me look into that. I don't think that the market cap will flip for this wave 5 on the upside. Let me see what is the latest on market cap. Okay, so let's see what we have. Bitcoin at 527 billion, and we have Ether at 218. So it's still not even half. So I don't think this will flip. Okay, for this reminder of the wave 5. What I think, it's for some period of time, it's gonna higher according to this chart. It's gonna go higher at a higher pace. So it's going to be more valuable in this period of time that related to the ratio that Bitcoin is going to go higher. So I don't think that will flip the market cap. This is a big difference for that. So I don't think that will happen. Okay. Well, interestingly, Binance Coin is 4th place at 48. Whoa. I didn't track this one for a long time. Believe me, guys, I didn't see these market caps. I don't know, maybe a year ago. XRP 6th place, 24. Whoa. USDC, of course, is climbing, 29. USDT at 82. 2. Cardano is 7th, 13 billion. Whoa. Dogecoin 8, Solana 9th, Polygon 10th. Okay, Litecoin and Polkadot 11, 12. Okay, so yeah, Dogecoin doesn't have any particular nice chart. I don't see anything there on a bullish side. Polygon I like, Solana as well, but not here, maybe a bit lower. Yeah, so yeah, I don't think it's gonna flip. Okay, at least not in this cycle. So XRP is shocking even with the SEC issues. Yeah, I don't think XRP will also, I think this consolidation is triangle and it's not gonna last long. As the cryptos goes up, maybe it's gonna go up with it for a year, and then it's gonna make a pullback, and then maybe in a year or 2 or 3, when all of these things settles and we have some crossing between this fiat and crypto world, because you see the world, everything is mess. So this period are cyclical, so you have many processes that are happening, from digital disruption to wars to all sorts of that stuff. So who can know what will actually be of a value in the next couple of years. So we will see how this mixing with the banks and XRP will go. But if the cryptos goes up, definitely it might pull up some of the couple of cryptos which are valuable, because you don't have many valuable. You have to pay attention of which of these projects are now really going to help the ecosystem of blockchain to be more advanced in the future, or to have more services. There is not much of them, in my opinion, so you want to be picky, except Bitcoin, Ether, Solana, Polygon, and a couple of others. You might have to be picky, play a couple of underdogs, a couple of new projects, maybe if they run on the upside, but choose wisely. So thank you guys. If you want to see more of our crypto service, you can visit us, take a trial at tradinganalysis.com, and see you one of these Thursdays, to be more precise. Bye bye and thank you.